Alright, welcome back to another stream of Disco Elysium with our first playthrough and the viewer influence integration. And we are going to continue on the second day here, currently about noon. It's actually funny, but the time currently is 13:37, which is actually code for hacker 1337. Coincidence? I don't think so. And yeah, we are going to continue with the investigation, I guess. There's still quite a lot of tasks on our hands here. But most importantly, we have to remember the time-sensitive task this evening, which is going to be this one. The smoker on the balcony. But there's still a bit of time until we get there. I definitely don't think we're gonna get there today, but maybe the next one. Other than that, we don't really have many time-sensitive tasks here. We can just, do whatever. Would be cool if you had like the option to see like the picture of a person next to the name.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
That as well. Hey, but Dr. Darling, welcome in. And how's it going? Early stream, indeed. Also gonna be a shorter one. I will have to call it after like 3 hours or so. Because I'm gonna be away over the weekend, so gotta get ready to leave later. But yeah, gonna be doing a bit of Disco Elysium for a few hours at least. You know, there's quite a few tasks I could technically do, you know, like doing a job for the Hardy Boys leader, you know, but I don't really like them too much, so I'm kind of like trying to avoid it. Same for getting Measurehead to help us get the body down, because he only will help us if we basically subscribe to his ratio theory. But yeah, the game is actively trying to compromise you, I guess, in a way, you know. Gotta work together with some assholes eventually. So I wonder if this is actually one that just stays there passively, or if talking to Kim wants to actually, you know, finish this.
Yes?
I guess tell me about the case again.
What do you want to know?
So we're from different precincts. Why aren't we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
A pissing competition?
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
I don't remember being in on anything.
That's good.
So tell me about it.
What's there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
So this is struggle over who runs Martinet?
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words.
Take on this, the first claim.
I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So what's so special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. He raises an eyebrow, thinking it best to let you make the next move. Yeah, I feel like all of these options are kinda like not truthful. Lesson in Star, I don't think so. The finest they have, you know, in the condition we were in. I mean, this is like partially true maybe, because according to the stat book that we have seen, he actually was a very good detective, you know. But right now, I guess he's not. Exactly. An apocalyptic omen sent by my people. Kim is not gonna be able to understand that. Definitely don't have supernatural abilities. We don't have an unbelievable kill count because we have seen that it's actually quite low. So yeah, the only choice that actually really applies to the situation is unspecified, I guess. Because none of these match the reason we were sent. You know, especially if we know that it's like a pissing competition. Then we're like a pawn in this, you know, kind of like investigation.
The silence carries.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
The pissing competition, task complete.
He's actually glad it's addressed now.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad we talked about it. Thanks to the playthroughs that Rod, me, Lucinda did. You bought Red Dead 2? Oh, did you, Dr. Danny? Nice. Man, I love that game. Like, honestly, one of my favorite games of all time. Was on a huge discount on Steam. Oh yeah, so how much was it? Like 14? Like 15 bucks or something? Probably like a huge discount to Rockstar standards at least. Okay, so we have the option here to try the logic with a 17% chance. Why did the 41st send me? We actually have a bonus here, that Roy mentioned suicide and that we're a sorry cop. But we still only have a logic level of 1, so it's a pretty low chance here. 65% discount down to 32 euros. I mean, that game is certainly worth it much. For sure. But yeah, that's like a heavy discount for Rockstar standards, I guess. But it's kind of crazy how, you know, valuable these games still are compared to like games like Ubisoft games, you know. But after a year, they're already down to like 25 euros or something. And here's Red Dead Redemption 2 from like 2018, I think. 6 years later. But yeah, it's one of those games I would pay full price for, honestly. And I would still say it's worth it. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a viewer choice here whether or not we trigger the logic option. It is a white check, so we can try it again later.
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57.
Indeed, that's what I thought. But yeah, what is our luck in the past couple of streams with the dice rolls? Like 17% chance to succeed, and, you know, we do it. You always wait for discounts, sadly can't afford 70 euro games at the moment. It's difficult to justify spending that much money for games, you know, if you have like other bills to take care of. And yeah, it's certainly something I wouldn't really do on a regular basis either. You know, there's still so many games to play and replay, and there's always gonna be a sale at some point. So being a patient gamer really does pay off, you know, if you do it over a long time. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, some people still haven't gotten their refunds either, you know? And then the whole thing about like changing prices of like some of the content, and yeah. It's a bit of a shit show, I guess. But it really makes you wonder what's going on behind the scenes, you know? Because you can imagine there's like lots of content that might get scrapped as well as a result. Yeah, that makes more sense than the other stuff I thought of.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
Gonna share it with Kim.
I've considered it.
His voice is somber. Yeah, it's true.
It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional. But I also think it's somewhat unlikely.
Why is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
So you are the finest?
I am the finest of nothing.
You really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Nice, level up.
He's right. There are no airtight theories, just paranoia. You've given it some thought. Now let it go.
Alright, cool. I'm glad I actually done that. I should really pay a bit more attention to my, I think, task and really actively seek out the things I want to be doing. It's kind of cool you see the potentially like important choices and where to do them. Okay, so there aren't any thoughts currently that I could try to learn about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spend that skill point on physical instrument. I just want to get it as high as possible, I think. So we have a higher chance of just knocking out Measurehead. So it should be fully maxed out now, pretty much. This plastic bag has Fritter Sick written on it in a dynamic, forceful manner that implies great prices. As you crack it open, a morty gust of air flies in your face. It smells of yeast and beer. The perfect place for tear. So I can actually use this. Interesting. This laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the eastern bank is already fully renovated. The hillsides are lush with gardens and residences. Someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Book La Femme, Volume 1, Number 4. The leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism, offers radical Masovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Friso, with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friso. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Friso?
Because Friso was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Nice attempt on the German there. It's kind of funny that dramatic pause before he said it, and then with like full conviction. And it was like a very interesting German accent, I guess. But yeah, it translates into art and culture. Kunst und Kultur. What is Kunst und Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Kulte, or something like it, he's saying. Kulte. Kultur.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
That's a very like English way of saying it, I guess, in a way, you know, because you would say like culture. So having more of an emphasis on the first, you know, U. Whereas in German, it's like exactly the other way around, you know, it's Kultur. So emphasis on the second U. That makes sense, you know, if you're coming from like that language primarily. You kind of like say Kultur like that. Kultur. That's a cute outfit. Did your husband make it for you? Das ist ein süßes Outfit. Hat dein Ehemann das für dich gemacht?
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
You know, whenever there's like Bully McGuire quotes that I have to translate, I always think about the Spider-Man movies because I used to watch them in German. But for the life of me, I can't recall the actual translations for the Bully McGuire quotes because it's been so long that I watched them in German. It would be funny to know what exactly they translated the Bully McGuire quotes with. They'll probably find like much better ways of translating it. Hey, Lucinda, welcome in. Good morning. And happy almost weekend to you. I hope you're having a nice morning so far. Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. That certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth who likes to harass you from her balcony.
It's Friday? Hell yeah, it definitely is.
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
I mean, what's wrong with a good motor crash? They just keep it interesting.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real racers that you're really watching for.
750,000? Damn. Maybe I should become a racer here. So I can actually afford the next night in the motel. Seems like a valid plan. Wow, you're right, I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, did you know Tip Top Tourney is actually an orgiastic ritual of capitalistic destruction? I had no idea.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective.
The lieutenant furrows his brow. I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life under capitalism.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
That's a good point. People like to bitch about stuff they don't understand or have anything to do with, personally. Often because it's different, you know.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal a la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going a la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
It's like stating the most obvious.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
It's especially funny after the conversation we already had, because the editor's note is probably like the first thing you would usually read, you know? So the assumption to make that this is a communist magazine would be, you know, more interesting if it didn't already and skim through the book. At that point, it should be pretty clear what kind of book this is. Let's see what I mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Yeah, this might be interesting. Getting like into the mind of the local communists here. Because a lot of them seem to be on the side of the strikers, of course. And that might have something to do with the murder.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer G. Martin accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation?
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition. Why do communists love puerile insults? And they wonder why they're always being left out in the cold.
Well done, empathy. Though it seems like that could be also something that logic could, you know, succeed in.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara. book riots in Yugograd.
Bear wrestling. That reminds me of The Witcher. You know, where you have like the fist fighting contest, and once you get to Skellige, the ultimate last enemy, I think, is not even a human, it's a bear. Hey there, Ayat, welcome in. And good day.
Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
All right.
Apricot chewing gum scented one. August 2nd, early late summer. You're getting off the streetcar in Le Jardin, east of the river. Her father and mother are middle class. The nylon of her little jacket rustles next to you in the dark like autumn leaves. Her heels click on the pavement. You're walking up to the gate in front of her parents' house. She takes out her chewing gum and you kiss her. A feeling like electricity flows through your whole body. Immediately, you know that you've entered a completely different world.
Interesting. I feel like this might be a key memory, honestly, you know, because I was under the assumption that, you know, we kind of like lost the love of our life, you know, and this might be one of the early memories with her. It seems like one of those thoughts, you know, completions that has a direct connections to why our character is in the situation that he is, potentially. It gives us a +2 bonus to perception.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
That's not possible. It's because I keep saying none of the above the political stuff, isn't it?
It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin, but something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience.
Citizen? So, where's this Kingdom of Conscience then?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
Oh, really? So how do you bring about those circumstances?
Incrementally. Yawn. You'd get there faster with a little speed. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
You could also say naturally, because a sudden change all of a sudden hardly seems like a natural transition. Okay, but what's the Kingdom of Conscience actually like?
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The Kingdom of Conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Okay, count me out. That's enough. I was fine with the, you know, above post-capitalist, but this is going too far. I'm actually gonna opt in because I wanna see what happens if I do.
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow?
Alright, then let's get there eventually.
That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
I'm sure. Everything is gonna change. But yeah, that's a new thought. Kingdom of Conscience. Hardek is powerful, but democracy is subtle. Incrementally, you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are softer when they stick to your warrior one forehead. When it rains, rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of Dolorian humanism are reinstating themselves. How can they not? These are the ideals of the Coalition and the Moralist International. Those guys are signal blue. And they're not only good, they're also powerful. What will it be like once the nuanced plans have been realized? Ah yeah, that's certainly gonna be a sofa here. Solution? All the problems of the world. Do wanna actually have a better chance now to do the white check here.
Hello again, sir.
Ah yeah, it's still locked. Okay, never mind. Hey there, Shaky. Welcome in. And good day to you.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
I still only have a 3% chance here. And that's even though we have a +2 chance. Because we talked to Cindy. It's a white check though, so we can try it again another time. Which means I'm gonna make this a viewer choice whether or not we're gonna try to trigger this or try it later. Okay, gonna try later.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Let's press our ear against the door.
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp.
Okay, let's use Manjana's key here to unlock the door.
You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Good job. Let's go now. I'm sure there's nothing interesting in there. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft, a whistle.
Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over. A book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks lies open. You can almost feel the warmth of a red sun on the flag. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. The smell of disinfectant in the room smells like chemicals.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Tap on the mugs.
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
What do I mean, uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yeah, me too. Whip out the yellow man mark and compare.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
That's a nice coincidence.
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Inland Empire. Always coming in with the imagination. It's like, that was actually a really good idea. How about we should do more of this, you know? Surely we're not gonna come across like very important clues in like every flat we potentially break into. Surely. You really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from these clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Okay, I think that's everything here. I actually have a new shot here. Giving us +1 logic. It definitely looks a bit better. I just need a good necktie or something. I mean, look at this one. It's horrific. But it gives us more Inland Empire, so that's something.
Trying to sneak up on me again? Trying to snuff me out? Get away, pig!
Don't mind if I do.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I have a photo of the victim's tattoos.
She reaches for the photo, takes it, then holds it in her hand. For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a frigate not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Let's stay quiet.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Port cities. On the oceans. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Delorian century. As early as 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single column. Patrol, case, vacation, injured. In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
This man is a brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
Well, technically we've, talked to him by using Inland Empire, and I kind of want to lean into that aspect of me. But yeah, we're probably gonna have some raised eyebrows here from both Kim and her.
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse.
Or I guess she didn't think I meant it like literally, but we did.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word it feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name. A breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelechi 19? Why?
She taps on the side of a boat. It makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelechi, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about Dolores? Sleek fish or eggs? Eggs something? It doesn't seem very imaginative. How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
I just like the name for some reason.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
Let's actually try the other names.
Because it was manufactured
Sleek
in
fish.
Revachol... What?
Because it's sleek and fish-like.
I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you.
So that actually amused her.
Okay, because...
And what about X something?
The X something. The X what?
The executor.
Oh, I do like the sound of that. It sounds so decisive, so powerful.
Oh, we actually found something that she liked.
Okay, because it was the X
What
something.
about the ex-wife?
Thank you for the suggestion. I see the word has emotional resonance for you. For me, sadly, none. So I will stick with the factory name. Okay, because it was the X something. The X what?
How about just the X something?
Very absurd. Thank you for the suggestion. I will stick with the factory name for now, but thank you.
It's kind of funny how she tells her opinion whether she likes something or not, but she's still gonna stick with the fact that she's not going to name the boat. So what kind of boat is it for?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Sorry, Kim. I get it. I should focus on the actual murder investigation.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
I can actually ask for the license.
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but two insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
Ah yeah, that doesn't sound like an excuse, yeah? So what happened the other time?
The other time, I would have finished the race were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now.
Still need to see the license, ma'am.
Actually, you don't.
Kim doesn't go with it. Understandably. I'm pretty sure I do. I police.
It is a little known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license.
So we can't pull over random civilians in the Mantha papers? That's weak.
Unless it's their passport. No. Do you want to ask for the lady's passport?
You need to save face if you want her respect. Demand that passport.
I demand the passport now. It's always so funny, anytime authority makes it pop up, you know, it's like the most insecure BS ever. You know? It's more really like an inferiority complex.
Of course.
She searches the pockets of her raincoat, producing a bundle of documents in a sealed plastic bag.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Seagent. The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you. Face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Your name's Rejoice?
Yes. But please don't call me that.
Why?
Joyce is much more efficient.
She doesn't like it. Probably a bad memory. Mean girls at school or some ancient lover.
You're from Vespa?
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
Everything appears to be in order.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
Okay, I think I have a hand over boat thing. Don't want to tell her about having talked to Efra yet, so I think we're done here.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
Oh yeah, I can actually ask about these rooms now. You know who lived in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there.
Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
Is one of the residents on a vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Well, this is really helpful so far, I have to say. Who lives in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
I mean, wouldn't hurt to at least talk to the people. But yeah, it seems like they may be squatting one of the apartments. And who knows, you know, maybe they don't have another place to stay, so I don't want to like drive them around, like out, you know, if there's like no demand for it. But we're still gonna take it on and check it out.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. Comparing young people to rats. And just generalizing that everyone is like that, you know. Who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's a symbol of communism.
The symbol of what now?
It's an ideology, it has some noble aims, but it also has been used to justify terrible bloodshed.
The cleaning lady shrugs and returns to sweeping.
Okay, she couldn't care less. What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still,
She leans on her broom.
she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
Wait, so you compliment her on spraying the walls, you have like more stuff to do, but you blame other young kids for being rats because they leave beer bottles or something on the ground. Which again contributes to you having a job. Huh? You're not making sense right now. Unless you're playing favorites. That's all things.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Okay. That wasn't very helpful.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
Open the door so I can verify your identity.
Oh, come on.
There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
That was smart.
The lieutenant says, nodding towards the unlocked door. Well, thank you, Kim. Sometimes I can be smart. Most times, not so much. Oh, hello there.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
She jingles a set of keys in her hand. Really? This apartment room needs a real estate agent? I don't think so. I mean, yes. If she really is one, fair enough. But is she?
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her obviously hating you.
I mean, that checks out for a real estate agent, I guess. Thinking one thing and saying the other. You never know who might want to move in here, you know?
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
She fumbled through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. I mean, sure, if she's offering it, just to make sure.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details. Be friendly.
Yeah, everything seems to be in order.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
So what are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
So who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops, hesitating.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall.
So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Preptide or Pericanine.
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
She snaps her fingers.
Oh, it irks her. The incompetence.
Wouldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate and breathe life into bank accounts.
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
She's still shaking her head. Manicured hands now crossed over the chest.
Of course.
Okay. A blister pack of medicine peeks out of a box. You should take it. Oh, not in front of her, I guess. Or maybe, I guess I can. Looks like a fine mattress. Don't be ridiculous, you can hear it swarming with bugs. Some new shoes, huh? +1 to indirect modes of taxation, affluent money maker man. These per Anningersaur shoes have no lacing but a strap and a buckle. Due to their elegant and affluent design, they have been described as the most advanced dress shoe. So advanced in fact that walking through slush in mud doesn't leave a single trace on them. Okay, let's go for these for a bit.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
Or you know, I could just sell them maybe. I mean, I don't wanna, like, discard the shoes. I wanna keep them. I've already put them on, in fact.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra liberal.
Sure.
You work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do.
Oh, yeah. Like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
I guess I've made some guilds, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself.
Way to build myself up there, savoir-faire. It's like, yeah, I'm just like moments away from dying pretty much. So I guess life ain't so easy.
Are you rich?
I'm not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Fucking Texas, right. I don't know. Why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
That can't be right. 98%. That seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Opt-in, but only a little. This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me into a free market type.
What are you, a racist? Don't be a racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate. Ride or die. Keep it street.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. It's like, okay, so if I'm not ultra-liberal, then I must be racist, I guess. Yeah, no. Go away. Discard the fort.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
Ah yeah, I could use actually 2 here to get this door open.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number.
Not in hand. I thought a pry bar could be used here. Don't have to hold it in the right hand, do I?
This door has been closed with a padlock. This door has been closed with a padlock.
Ah, okay.
A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
Okay, so now we could try the interfacing option here with a 42% chance of success. Let's make it a viewer choice.
The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now.
After you, detective.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
It is my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of this world.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
A flamboyant poster of a white star. Real lithography. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of Capitol and such. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
He was a mass murderer. There's nothing cool about keeping his bust on a nightstand.
He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him.
He leans closer to inspect the photos of revolutionaries on the wall.
There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
So why does this tenant have a bust of Kraz Marzov in their bedroom?
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
I wonder if I noticed that I stole their clothes. Ah, it gives us a conceptualization bonus. It's definitely nice to have like a good selection of clothing here, because if we have like a special type of white check, you know, then we can just change clothes to kind of like get a bit of a bonus there. Like combining these two here would give us quite a good conceptualization bonus for the next one.
Give me a moment.
I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment 10. It was just a real estate agent setting up the room for a new tenant.
I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
The slow change that kind of leans into the kingdom of conscience.
Yes. Well. I hope they're good people.
Alright, that's another task complete. I do like the fact how the rooms are kind of like being unfogged. I can go in here. Why can't I open up this door? Like there's a room that's still completely dark here. There's even a padlock. Also, I will be right back. Alright, we're back. Let's carry on here. Maybe there's more to uncover in this building. Oh, actually found some alcohol. Moss crawls on those bathroom tiles. Actual moss. The curtains shift just a little. Someone is watching from within. Okay, so that's the apartment here where we have to go at 9 p.m.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the courtroom yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Nice perception there. Really, you're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
So you won't talk about the murder, but maybe you can tell us something about the murder's victim's missing armor?
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
Isn't armor art? Art for the body?
Ugh, alright. Sad Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time! Piggy, I have no idea why I just told you that. You look like a shaggy dog left in the rain for too long. I have a weakness for animals.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Ah, we haven't been here yet, have we? 100 tiny feet scurrying beneath the grate. The rats of a city. Or we must have been if we talked to her about the core room. Okay, seems we're done here in this building. For now at least. I think we might still have a task to actually drink alcohol. Yes. But I'm not gonna drink it on the job though. Maybe a glass of wine in the evening.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Your money disappears into the coin slot, a clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
There are ruins of some kind of building there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The lieutenant takes off his glasses and cleans them. King Invalid one.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
I can still look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
Ah yeah, a classic case of Kuno.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Poor little viewer. Let's pet it.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
You're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent sinking.
Renee, I found your guard booth.
Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
He adds with a slight sigh.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
So who was working your shift at night?
No one. The bus has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative?
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
He tries to argue.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
I mean, fair enough. The full capitalist approach here. Yeah. Just no matter the choice in like these political loaded questions, you know. I was gonna be like, I also do tag collecting.
Oh, I didn't mean to imply there's something wrong with that. I do it too. Everyone does it. It's an excellent side thing.
Yes, yes, yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now?
He is not going to become an entrepreneur.
I saw a picture in there. You were in it. You looked happy. Who's the girl? Yeah, I don't think I should ask this question. It's way too personal at this point.
Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
I saw the statue of Philippe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes. King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
Cocaine? Cocainum? Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself.
Elysium is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There's some weariness in his voice now. He's heard his rant many times before.
The Carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
Right.
Yeah, this one is still way too low here.
Hey, psst.
Look around.
Psst. Hey, you.
Me?
Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again.
I don't think so. Again?
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Yes, we should all stop building love. Sarcastically.
This conversation isn't really about love. Try to keep up, okay? This is about the communism you've promised to build. Word on the street is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted. Is that true?
It's not. Get the fuck out of here. I could actually go on this bench and pass time, I guess, technically.
The dented yellow mailbox.
Okay, let's have a look at the current task here and where we should go next. Wanna have a look at the Monday task if there's anything that's opened that could be kind of important. Yeah, we could still buy the fountain pens, but currently I should more focus my money on actually being able to pay rent for my room. So we need 20 bucks for that. Ah. Now this is something in connection to the woman on the boat. Because technically I haven't asked her yet about reality. Kind of avoided that question because it seemed kind of random, but I didn't really think it was connected to like an actual task.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality?
She puts the hood closer around her neck. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy now that I think of it.
She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you. Hey there, Mr. Goody. Welcome in. And welcome in, Deadmond.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
Psycholex is also here. Nice.
Alright, you're in. Begin with the first one. You'll appear worldly.
Where are we? Impossible, but still a 3% chance. I'm doing very well. Doing very well, thank you, Mr. Goody. Playing a bit more Disco Elysium, continuing the investigation. And yeah, looking forward to a weekend. Gonna be away, visiting some family. Which I'm definitely looking forward to. How about you, Mr. Goody? How's your day and weekend going so far? So where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
Also, give me one sec. Alright. Goody nice, you got an event challenge to go to tomorrow. You're doing the 8-week Oxyshred challenge and the event ends tomorrow, so you got tomorrow for final ways in. Oh, very nice. It's definitely a nice feeling, you know, like doing something over such a long process and then getting to finish a challenge like that. GG's on sticking with it for such a long time, Goody. That's awesome. So is there like any other challenge you would like to take on next, once this current one is finished? Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
A very nice goodie. It definitely sounds like a, nice score to have. So do you have like a favorite food or something that you'd like to eat when you're like going for a calorie deficit? Like something that doesn't have too many calories but that you really enjoy eating? One of the foods that I love eating in that sense is watermelon. Because like such a nice snack. And it's just mostly water really. With super low calories, but it's always like so nice. But more of a like summer thing. Lots of beef and chicken with at least 60 grams of protein. Makes sense. So less carbs and fat, I assume. More protein. You were here as a teenager?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
But if you want to lose weight really fast and build muscle, you are meant to have your exact weight in protein. Or maybe a little bit more, if you need it, and keep it under 2,500 calories. I gotcha. I've never actually kept track of like my calorie and protein intake like that before. There was a time where I really tried to like lose some more weight. But yeah, that was like more like, looking, okay, this is roughly that many calories type of thing, Didn't really plan it out with like protein, fat, whatever. But I guess it would really go like actively to the gym, and really like try to build up certain like muscles and stuff, and that would be a really good thing to utilize. So who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
And when was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why would it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
I can imagine Goti, you know. Because I guess you can't really maybe utilize your 4-like energy potential when lifting. But I mean, I guess once you kind of like reach your ideal weight, you know, you can probably adjust that as well.
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So we're on the periphery, basically nobodies.
Speak for yourself, officer. I'm well known in certain parts. As to the place, you're right. We are.
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
A collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor, light reflecting off their glass windows.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Say nothing. Observe a large body of water swelling. Quote.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly.
Jamais-vous derealization. New thought.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality.
Indeed, Kim, I do.
Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
I want to finish the task. But yeah, I'm gonna listen to Kim for once. Again.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
Okay. Let's talk to her later again. Don't need to sit here for like half an hour just asking questions to her. About reality. We could actually try to maybe open up the secret passage in the Whirling and Wrecks with the tools that we have.
You see a heavy steel door with the door a challenge. The steel doesn't even tremble. Now you're hanging from the handle. Okay, it was a challenge, and you failed. The cobalt blue.
Okay, nothing I can do here, unfortunately.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Do you know what's behind that door? Point to the blue door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for no, I don't know what's behind that door.
Okay, nothing I can do there. Can also use this bag to collect tear. Sure, why not?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
What kind of vehicle drove through here?
Hard to say.
What am I playing after Elysium? I've been thinking about it as well, you know. The thing is, I'm still not nearly done with this game, even though I've already been playing it since like late August. So technically we started this game 2 months ago, actually. And I'm still maybe halfway through at this point. So yeah, I'm not too sure really, you know, it's probably gonna be a decision I will make once I feel like I'm getting very close to finishing this game. Because what I might feel like playing now might change when I get to finish this game. But I would say now that I have my better setup, you know, with the new graphics card and everything, I wouldn't mind playing like a newer title, you know, that's maybe my PC wouldn't have been able to handle before. One of those games would definitely be God of War Ragnarok. I would like to play that game eventually for sure. And I would also really like to play Horizon Forbidden West eventually. Because it's another game that's been on my list for a good while. That's Kobe picked for me to play, so yeah, maybe one of those two. I can't wait for Spider-Man 2 to come to PC either. Now that's the game I'm super excited to play eventually, but at this point still only able to play on PlayStation 5, which I don't have. Hey there, Torrent, welcome in. I do, yeah, I'm playing this on PC. Purchased this game over on Epic. Something from like this here, sort of. Yeah, maybe. Wouldn't mind, you know, playing like a newer title now that my system can really like handle those well. In like 60 FPS and everything. Yeah, that's true. Like I've been definitely doing like more 2 to 3 hour sessions, like on average I would say. And this is now session number 10, so I would say we're probably getting closer to the 30-hour mark, you know. But that also tells you a little bit about how much time I've been taking in general, you know, with the game, because streaming for one, you know, adds quite a bit of time, especially if you're like discussing choices and you might talk with chat over, you know, viewer choices and all that type of stuff. And I've been also really taking my time just like talking to every person, you know, reading books, all that, which isn't really like necessary, you don't have to do. But that's why I expect this playthrough to be more on the side of like 50 to 60 hours overall. And yeah, that definitely, you know, makes it quite long because if you do like shorter stream sessions and like less days during the week, it's just gonna drag, of course, over multiple weeks and months. And also currently have like less days to stream during the week as well. But I'm kind of making that up with like weekend streams as well. Like shorter ones. But yeah, safe to say this is quite a long playthrough. And I expect this to go on for quite a bit longer. But I'm still liking it. It's just, you know, definitely very narratively focused. Much more like, yeah, playing like an interactive book than anything else. Hey again, Torrent. Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, the Starship Trooper one was quite funny. But yeah, that's the thing. There's always many soundbits on the horizon.
Cop habit. You look at everything. This isn't case related, you think.
Okay, shall we try the visual calculus or not? Let's make this a viewer choice.
No, these tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away.
Nothing interesting at all.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
The empty card.
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
I don't know, most of these names don't really ring a bell yet to me. So I think I'm just gonna leave this for now until we actually have a reason to ring any of the names there.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Ah yeah, so we could actually increase our visual calculus chance here. I do wonder if I have any kind of like items that might increase it further. Oh yeah, the need office shades actually boosted. Alright. Well,
there are several footprints.
Let's try to actually get a count here.
By work. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right. The hardy boys in the mess hall of whirling in rags.
Both of them one by one.
1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Titus Hardy. The one with the ball cap on his head.
Thanks, Cody. Yeah, it's definitely quite exciting, you know, to make that big of a jump from a 1060 to a 4060 Ti. It's definitely cool, you know, like opening up the games with the same settings I had before and just getting like so much more FPS. It also comes with, of course, like many other benefits, you know, for streaming and content creation. It's definitely a much better generation. And also being able to use things like DLSS, you know, is quite the game changer. Especially if you might want to use features like, you know, ray tracing or stuff. But I will still have to upgrade my CPU before I can really utilize ray tracing a bit more consistent. At least depending on the game. There's games where ray tracing is like much more CPU heavy than others. Exactly. I need all the power. But yeah, I mean, I'm mostly aiming for 1080p 60 FPS, you know, that's still a pretty low requirement nowadays. But that's basically what, you know, I play on for streams, because it's also what I have a stream set at. So, yeah, most of the time I should be definitely fine with, you know, newest games and stuff. And also don't mind compromising a couple like game settings, you know, if I like more taxing on performance and not really giving you much of a benefit. So yeah, I think for the next couple of years we should definitely be fine with that setup.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print. 5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot. But number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
I should have gotten this earlier.
Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something?
And the last one?
8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy Boy.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here.
8, actually.
That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
A leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of sight easily, especially at a time like this.
Point to light step number 41, true?
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing.
Yes.
I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not.
Point a heavy one, 200 kilogram imprint.
200? This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat Hardy Boy, the one sitting in the middle.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
It wasn't a giant. Extremely obese person. Yeah, that seems likely here. The first one.
Possibly, yes.
An aberration, one so smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Wonder who he is.
Oh, this one's easy. Way too easy. It's a driver.
The driver would wear down their right shoe before they left. The accelerator is on the right. And remember that abandoned lorry cabin we found?
With a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle. Which means that the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching? That's it. She's the Old Soul.
Sorry, I muted myself for a second. She's also one running the drug trade. Interesting.
Now we know who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Yeah. And possibly, they're trying to protect her. This would fit what Joyce told us, but I don't want to make any assumptions.
Understood. We should still go and see what Titus Hardy has got to say on the matter. This might throw them off, work in our advantage. So, what else?
How old do you think these tracks are?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
Hey there, Oliver. Welcome in. Score. And greetings.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
Also, thank you for the 5 stream streak there, Oliver. So what do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
He looks at the tracks, face lighting up from realization. He spots Polly McGuire. You were early today, just got home. That's true, yeah. Definitely a bit of an earlier start. And it's also gonna be an early finish. I'm actually gonna be calling it quite soon here today. We'll be going to visit family over the weekend, so we'll have to get ready for that here in for the next few hours. But I hope you're having a nice day so far, Oliver. Has the weekend begun for you officially? Woody, what do you think happened here, Bully McGuire? Now that would be a plot twist. If Bully McGuire is the murderer that we're actually seeking here. And the guy hanging there is actually Sandman. AKA the guy who killed Uncle Ben.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy boys.
Let Kim have his moment of joy.
There's one pair missing from the Union box. The 8th pair. I'm going to say it was our old soul.
So the odd soul was present at the lynching, but isn't in the mess hall right now.
Yes. I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us much, but we should still confront them about the possible drug trade connection.
Alrighty. I mean, that's definitely a breakthrough here in the case. Let's talk to the Hardy boys.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus doesn't look particularly happy to see you. Let's start by just talking about the hanging.
Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
good one, Titus.
Yeah, I was just wanting to see if there's any new questions to ask him.
About fucking time.
Let's talk about the 8th footprint here for now.
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
Yeah, there's 7 Hardy Boys and there's 1 girl, apparently.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She?
This person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
Maybe the woman had to prove herself to the Hardy Boys.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. In.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, in that case, I'm not gonna test my luck here. Gonna just leave here for now. Maybe she has something to say about it.
Nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Imagine if it was her. The lawyer is the 8th person. Are you the Hardy girl? Right.
I am not.
She says dryly.
You could be Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
Get a grip, Glenn. She went to law school.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
Nah, there's no coalition there between being smart and being beautiful. You gotta look horrible if you're very smart, you know, clearly.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
The tone is cold and unmoved. What if I want to talk to you and not Titus?
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one.
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to say it. You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
Okay, let's leave it here for now. You know, now that I have like the highest physical instrument Karnak stat, I do wonder if I could talk to Measurehead or get him to like, you know, be defeated. Would be funny. I don't think I have that option currently.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
wonder which choice actually unlocked the attack this dude option. Also, give me just another second. Okay, I'm just gonna go for some choices here to see if it
about the tips. The F are a museum of fame. Lesser, the mosquito is. Then there is the koi. This there is a strange scent. The harp. He does not seem angry, nor does the woman look offended. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to.
no idea when we get the option to kind of like punch him again.
Your love for disco.
We just have to leave it for another time. But that's alright, because this is gonna be everything we'll be doing for today either way. Because I have to get ready now to leave soon here. So gonna go and have a save here. And this is gonna be everything we will be doing for today. But yeah, progress for another roughly 3 in-game hours, so made some decent progress to be honest. And getting ever closer to the 9 PM appointment with a balcony smoker, so might even get there next time if we manage to get a bit of a longer session, maybe. But yeah, for today this is gonna be it. I would like to thank you all so much for coming by and for joining me for another Disco Elysium stream. Gonna come back to this game next week, as well as to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, of course. And yeah, honestly, I definitely feel like we're getting more into a flow here with kind of like the task, you know, it's like every time something happens, I feel like, okay, now I can talk to this person, you know. And also like getting to know the cast a bit better and who stands for what. It's really gonna help driving the investigation forward. Thank you so much, Oliver. I hope you also have a great weekend. Hope you enjoy, and thank you also so much for joining. Gonna go and raid out to Rod's Legion, who's playing some Assassin's Creed Unity apparently. Oh yeah, he's actually carrying on with his 10th anniversary run, and he's doing one-way focuses on the soundtrack and music only. That's very cool. He did that for a couple different AC games, just turning off all the dialogue and sound effects, and showcasing all the music pieces that play naturally in the game. Have a good one, Torrent. Thank you also for being here. Catch you next time, and hope you also have a great weekend.